back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Iris Monroe. Hello my loves, so welcome back to my channel, and if you're new reason why I wanted to do this video is because I wanted all of my supporters, all my old supporters, all my new supporters to get to know me on a more deeper level. I wanted to share these 7 things you don't know about me, because I feel like it's something I should share with you guys, you know, because some of these things mean a lot to me. Some of these things are just really funny to me, and some of the things are, you know, kind of like hurtful to me. So I just felt like I really wanted to share that with you guys. So with that being said, let's get started. So when I was in 3rd grade, there was this guy, his name was David Sanchez. We had the same 3rd grade class together. We sat all the way across the room from each other, but somehow like every single day, we would always stare at each other, and you know, it's those kind of like crushes. I was like really shy back then, and every single time he would stare at me, like I would be super shy. I would stare at him too, but like as soon as he would look at me, I just look away, and I used to like, my heart used to beat so fast because I was scared. Not scared, but just like embarrassed. Every single time we went to lunch and stuff, if he was sitting like, let's say I was sitting like in the first table, he was sitting like in the 3rd table, but he was sitting facing me, I would get super shy and I wouldn't even eat my food. Like it was that serious to me. It was like around December, and I guess we were both shy to tell each other that we liked each other. So he told his friends that he had a crush on me. I told my friends that I had a crush on him, and somehow our friends made us come together, and he wrote me like a little note. We were in class, he wrote me a little note. He was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And he wrote like yes or no, and he said circle one. And I was so embarrassed. Like I was like, man, like how am I gonna give it to him? So I wrote, like I circled yes, and the next day, it was like the morning, and he left his backpack on the floor. And you know how like our backpacks, they have like water holders on the sides? Well, I put the little note inside, and I saw when he grabbed it, and he just started like smiling and stuff. And I was just really embarrassed, like, yeah, like we were dating and stuff. Like I wanted to be his girlfriend, and like basically we were dating, but I never hugged him, I never talked to him, nothing. Like we were complete strangers, but we were dating. It was so weird. Me and him, like we went 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. We never broke up. I mean, I guess we're still dating. To this day, I've never spoken to him after we went on to middle school. I never heard of him. I haven't heard of him since then. I don't know, he probably forgot about me. I didn't forget about him, but I just wasn't ever able to find him on social media, so yeah, we never talked again. Second thing about me is I grew up without a dad. I remember the last time I saw him, I was 4 years old, and I still remember everything. That day that he left, him and my mom were like arguing. They were arguing like really, really bad. My mom and my real dad's relationship was just terrible. It was like a very abusive relationship. It was, like honestly, like I don't really remember any happy times. Sucks to say, but all I remember from their relationship was constant arguments. I used to see them hit each other, and it was just like a very traumatic experience, I guess you could say. I was like a major daddy's girl. I loved my dad for everything. I would take my dad's side. Don't get me wrong, like I loved my mom, but you know how girls are with their dads, and to me, like my dad was my everything. My dad treated me like the princess. Everything was just perfect. Like my dad, in my eyes, was just perfect. There came a day where they were arguing really, really bad. I saw that my mom, like she was crying and crying and crying, and she left to her room. And my dad, like, he started getting things out of the closet, and he got a black bag. He started throwing his things in there. And I was like, Dad, like, where are you going? I was like, I want to go with you. And he basically told me that, no, I had to stay here with my mom. I couldn't go with him. He was going to go far away, and I was never going to see him again. And I guess, like, to tell me that, I guess, like, you know, I was a daddy's girl, so that really broke my heart. And I was like, no, Dad, like, I want to go with you. And I was crying, like, I was bawling my eyes out. That's when he was like, because I kept bothering him. And then he was like, okay, fine. He's like, go get your stuff, go get a bag, pack all your things inside, pack all your clothes inside the black bag. And when you're done, come out to the living room. And I was like, okay, fine. So I went and I got a black bag and I put all my things in there. And by the time I was done, I ran out. I had to drag the black bag outside to the living room because it was so heavy. Like, I put all of my things there that I wanted to take to leave with my dad. And when I walked out to the living room, that's when I saw that my dad was gone. And after that, I didn't see him for the longest time ever. I saw him again when I was like 10. I was 10 years old. And this time at 10 years old, I actually saw him behind bars. He was in jail. I was happy and excited to go see my dad, but never in a million years did I think that I would understand the way I understood back then what was going on. And when I saw him like behind bars, just knowing that I couldn't like hug him and just physically like hold my dad, I feel like it really hurt me. And the whole time that I was there seeing him, I was in tears. I couldn't stop crying. I held on to my grandma. My grandma couldn't stop crying because I was crying, and it was just like very emotional. It was very emotional, and that was the last time I ever saw my dad in person, you know. So like basically, don't get me wrong, like I have like funny memories with my dad, but most of the memories that I have with my dad are kind of like negative. Don't get me wrong, I love my dad, but I feel like I just can't really see my dad as a father. When I met my baby's father, Angel, I feel like I fell really, really deep for him. My first love, my first everything. I feel like I fell really deep for him because he showed me the love that I guess like my dad never showed me. My dad leaving my life and I guess not growing up with me. I feel like I leaned more towards my baby's father to show me the love that my dad never gave me, if that makes sense. Third thing about me is I grew up very insecure. In 6th grade, I remember like I used to see all the 6th graders, not all of them, but most of the 6th grade girls, they would, you know, have boobs. I would just look at myself and I would compare myself. Why don't I have that? And I guess it was just more of a trying to fit in kind of thing. See, my family is that kind of like family that loves to play around, not realizing that they can really say mean things without thinking how it's gonna make that person feel. I know they meant no harm by it, but little did they know that I grew up with that insecurity. I would look at myself and I would feel so disgusted with myself. When I was in 6th grade, I would always wear sweaters, no matter how hot it was. Like, it would be 100 degrees outside, and I would wear a sweater because I didn't want, you know, anybody to see that I didn't have no boobs. Like, obviously, like, it was, you know, like, I mean, it was obvious that I didn't, but I just didn't want people to like look at me like with a thin shirt and be like, oh, she has no boobs, and, you know, like make fun of me. Nobody made fun of me, don't get me wrong. Like, I was friends with, you know, people, and they were all super nice and sweet to me, but yeah, like I grew up very insecure. So like now my body's completely different, but I'm so insecure about some things, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that's everybody has an insecurity. This one kind of goes along with the third one, but I feel like this should have its own category. The reason why, you know, I started getting into makeup at a very early age, I was only 13, I started wearing mascara and eyeliner. I used to, you know, do my wing and stuff, is because I wanted to feel beautiful. Let everybody know, you know, look here, because this is, you know, where I feel more beautiful at. So I mean, makeup at first was used because I was very insecure, but eventually makeup now, it's more of a passion, more than, you know, less an insecurity. Fifth thing about me is ever since I was young, I loved kids. I love hanging around like babies. I love taking care of babies. Growing up, I always knew that one day I always wanted to be a mommy. When I was young, my doctor thought I had lupus, and she said that basically it was going to be hard for me to have kids. I wasn't going to be able to have kids. Like knowing that and me loving kids, it completely just destroyed my heart. My babies are here, so I don't know. I guess my babies are just big miracles, and I'm really thankful for them. But growing up, I always knew I wanted to be a mom. The sixth thing about me is I've been in a mental institution, I guess you can say, or a mental hospital. The reason why I went to a mental hospital was because I did try to commit suicide before, and luckily, thank God, I'm still here. I survived. Mental hospitals are filled more with people who are hurt, people who are depressed, people who are broken. The way movies make mental hospitals seem isn't really quite like that. It was a sad but beautiful experience at the same time because I knew I wasn't alone. I had people who, basically shared the same pain as me. And yeah, I liked it there. Now would I want to go back there? No. Now the seventh thing about me is I am the most positive person in my family. I feel like when there is something going on, when there's a negative situation, I don't know how this happened, but somehow I became the strong person. I'm the one who is there, for my family, talking to them, being there for them, supporting them when times get hard. Growing up, I never thought that I would be this strong of a person. I feel like God had to break me in order to make me who I am today. The day that I realized that the more I victimized myself, the more I was going to be caged inside some prison inside of my mind. So I stopped victimizing myself and I just took everything as a test. Every bad thing that I go through in life, everything that is happening in my life, I take that as a test. That's the way I cope with my life. Everything in life is a test, and just the more you victimize yourself, guys, the more you're going to be stuck inside your own mind. So just free yourself and take everything as a test. Don't ever ask God, why am I going through this? No. Always tell yourself, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to grow through this, because that's the only way you're going to move on with your life is, if you accept things for what they are and you move on with your life. So that was the end of my video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my 7 things you don't know about me, and I hope it helps a lot of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you. Mwah. See you guys on my next video. Bye.